Rita Connors, the badass character that we never knew that we needed. A character who can literally beat you to death with her fists. There is no messing around with Rita. Her fists are literally her weapons. However, Rita had a very dark secret. So, get yourselves comfy and welcome to another ranking special with Rita Connors. Hey guys, welcome back to Wentworth Life and welcome to this week's ranking special. Now, I am going to be ranking Rita Connors in this video, a favourite character of mine. Now, Rita appeared in 4 seasons of Wentworth and boy, did she keep us entertained with some outstanding moments. So, let's get started. Right then, so 5 Rita Connors moments. So at number 5, we have Rita saves Mari, which is a bit of a bizarre one, but it's actually the moment in season 7 when a undercover nurse tries to assassinate Mari, and Rita happens to be there, and she manages to fight with this, assassination nurse person, and I loved it. I love this little cheeky fight scene that the makers of Wentworth threw in for us. It was very unexpected, and yeah, I just flipping loved it. It's always one of those ones where I kind of forget when I go back and rewatch. I'm like, oh yes, this is the fight scene between Rita and like some crazy nurse bitch. At number 4, and it is Rita goads Drago. So this is in season 6, and this is way before, their actual fight to the death scene. But it's the moment where Rita purposely winds Drago up as she says something in another language to Drago that really gets her goat up, and she lets Drago just punch her a few times. Rita then looks up with a mouthful of blood and just does this wicked smile at Drago just to piss her off that little bit more, and then Drago continues to beat Rita until an officer comes in and slots her. I just thought it was really clever. It kind of showed that Rita can take a good beating when she needs to. At number 3, and it is Rita versus Lou. So this is the fight scene in the very final episode that we finally get to see, where Rita tries to, persuade Lou not to let this bomb go ahead, but Lou's having none of it. Lou's just too far gone now. She's ready for it, and they both end up in a huge fight scene, and Lou gives as good as Rita. I've got to be honest with you. The first couple of hits is all Lou, to be fair, but Rita does end up getting the upper hand when she throws Lou over the table, and then they're both finally separated when the officers come in and they're both slotted. But yeah, it's a great moment. At number 2, welcome to country. This is of course when we first see just how much of a brilliant fighter that Rita really is, when she takes on, I think it's 4 women, possibly 5. She beats them all to a pulp, including Costa, and it's just flipping epic. It's one of my favourite fight scenes. At number 1, Rita kills Drago. So this is when we see just how far Rita can take a fight, and she beats Drago to death in front of the women, in front of Miss Miles, in front of the officers. Rita is a killing machine. She don't need weapons, Rita's best 2 weapons are her fists, and I flipping love her for it. She's like the Terminator. Okay, 5 Rita Connors quotes. Kicking this one off at number 5. Blood for bloods, we gotta hit them hard, Jocko. So this is a quote from season 7 episode 2, so it's just after when Ray is dead and Rita has one of the conquerors come and visit her, and she lets him know that it was one of the other guys from the other gang. Can't remember the names right now, but yeah, this is a quote that she says, blood for blood, and I just love it. It's so powerful. At number 4, you try anything when Ruby comes back, you and Danny will be meeting up sooner than you think. An absolute classic from season 7. This is just after when Mari tries to kill Ruby when she gives her Rohypnol, and then Rita tells Mari that, the Rohypnol actually helped slow down the bleeding, so you actually saved her life. Whether if that is true or not, and whether if that was just Rita trying to wind up Mari, I'm not sure, but this quote is just brilliant. Flippin' love it. At number 3, and it is "fuck you, Mari." Now, Rita says this quite a few times, but it's like, I think it's in the final season when Rita and Mari are kind of forced to work with each other to try and find out what Lou's plans were, but they were both rubbing each other up the wrong way. Mari was pissed off with Rita because Mari found out that Rita was a cop. Rita just hates Mari, full stop, and every so often you'd have "fuck you, Rita, fuck you, Mari." Absolutely brilliant. Number 2, and it is "you're right, Rue. Fuck the teal. Let's fight them bastards." This is in the final season when Rita actually puts the teal on for one episode, and I've got to say, it didn't really suit her. Rita deserves to be in the denim and the jacket, in my opinion, and by the end of the episode, Rita gets her fighting spirit back, and this is what she says to Ruby. At number 1, "let me welcome you to country." Yeah, so it's not a surprise that this one is in another part of this video because it's such a brilliant scene and everybody just remembers "welcome to country." Okay, top 3 Rita Connors episodes, or episodes that has a lot of Rita stuff in it. So at number 3, "Clean Slate, Season 6, Episode 1. Now, this is Rita Connor's first ever episode. It's her introduction into prison. So, all eyes were more or less on Rita in this episode. And I know we got to see Ruby for the first time as well. And I know there's like a heap of other storylines going on. But honestly, I kind of feel that all the audience's eyes were on was Rita. And yeah, she didn't let us down. And number 2, and it is Bad Blood, Season 7, Episode 7. Now this episode, oh god, it always breaks my heart, and I love watching this episode for some reason. It gives me a really nice feeling. Now, it's the episode where Ruby is rushed into hospital and Vera sneaks Rita out of the prison to go and visit her, and it's like a whole overnight episode, and I love that. I absolutely flipping loved it. That actually happened quite a lot in Prisoner, and this is one of the, the rare few moments they did it in Wentworth, and I think that's why I'm really fond of it. But it's also the relationship that Rita and Vera builds together in this episode. It's also the episode where Rita tries to jump the fence as well. Absolutely powerful stuff. At number 1, and it is Showdown, Season 6, Episode 12. Shouldn't be too much of a shocker because this is obviously the episode where Rita fights and kills Drago in a very long, lengthy fight scene that gets really out of hand. Absolutely brilliant. It's also the Season 6 finale. Okay, 3 Rita Connors storylines that I wish had happened. Coming in at number 3, and it is Rita versus Craver. Now let me quickly explain this one. If you don't know who Craven is, well, in the original Prisoner Cell Block H, Craven was basically Rita's biggest enemy. Like in Prisoner, Rita had quite a few enemies, but I think Craven was the biggest, darkest, and most dangerous one. Now Craven was probably one of the most evilest characters that Prisoner had ever introduced. It was in the later half, towards the end of the series run, so they really went all out with this character. It was worse than think of John Ferguson times 100 of evilness. Honestly, Craven just didn't care. He'd go around raping, he'd get male prisoners to rape female prisoners, he would try it on with the staff members, he would beat anyone that he wanted, he'd kill people, and he would always get away with it. He was untouchable. And if you watch some of my Wentworth fan fiction, I actually introduced Craven of what could have been a fantastic storyline in Wentworth had the series continued for a little longer. So yeah, I kind of feel it's a very big missed opportunity not to bring in an all-time evil character to finish the show on. But yeah, we got what we got, so I can't really whinge. But anyway, at number 2, Rita versus Joan. Now this is also another missed opportunity. I suppose it's because of the way the writers, the direction that they gave Joan's character for the final 2 seasons. But I think, I'm not alone in saying that we were all thinking that, we were in for a Rita versus Joan fight scene at some point in the final 2 seasons. But we didn't get it, which is a little bit of a shame. Once again, we got what we got. At number 1, Rita as top dog. Oh, I would have loved to have seen Rita just for one season as top dog. I mean, if we'd got 1 or 2 more seasons after the bomb, then we could have had Rita's journey, final 2 seasons of Rita as top dog. We also could have brought in Craver as well as, you know, that final ultimate baddie that could have reunited everyone against one person. Oh, just so many missed opportunities, but oh well, never mind. Okay, Rita Connor's sad, funny moment. At number 3, Ray is killed. So yeah, this is during when Rita and Ray are about to get married, and then Ray is shot down dead right outside the prison, which is really, really sad. And Rita's told, you know, as she's waiting for Ray to come and marry her. And it always makes me cry because they play this really, really sad, dramatic music, and it always makes me tear up as well. At number 2, fuck you, Mari. So this one has made a comeback because it always makes me burst out laughing whenever I hear Rita say this to Mari. I just love their like odd relationship. It's just absolutely hilarious. At number 1, Rita's dad dies. Oh my goodness. I did not expect to be affected so badly when we first saw this in the final season. I think it was season 8 part 2 episode 2, just before Rita was caught by the police, and the dad dies, and then Rita, Ruby I think is on the phone, and then you've got the auntie, and they all start singing that, you know, that little chant where they sing them to the light. Oh my god, it gets me every single time. Okay, Rita Connor's fuck, marry and kill. So who do I think that Rita would love to marry, fuck and kill? So I believe obviously Rita's gonna want to marry Ray because that's what needy happened. So I had to put Ray down for this one. Who do I think she would fuck? Well, I reckon Rita had the hots for Mr. Jackson, just a little bit, and yeah, it would have been interesting to see these two hook up. So I reckon, you know, Rita would have loved to have at least one evening with Mr. Jackson. Don't we all? Anyway, who's she gonna kill? I had to put down Mari Winter, even though in the final season they're all upset when Mari dies saving Ruby. But before then, think of just before then, Rita would love to have just snapped Mari's neck because Rita hated her up until that very final moment. So I had to put Mari Winter down. Okay, Rita Connors, what happened next? Okay, so when we left Rita in the very final episode, we discovered that Ali had retrieved Lou's mobile phone that had that particular recording with Jonesy. Now, Rita really wanted this recording because it was going to prove that they were trying to kill her and Ruby at one stage. Now, I don't know how significant this would be, particularly for Rita, but it would definitely help Ruby, and Ruby would definitely be able to get her parole. Rita, however, she did beat up Drago to death, and even if this phone recording does do some good, you cannot rewrite history. So Rita, in my own personal opinion, would still be in prison, probably serving a manslaughter conviction, which still holds a hefty sentence. Now, I do think after Rita's help during the Siege episodes, she might have copped a slightly lighter sentence, but not that much. She would still be in Wentworth as an inmate for a considerable amount of time. So I would like to think that Rita would have eventually become Wentworth's newest top dog after the explosion. I mean, there would have been some issues with some of the women in regards to Rita being a police officer once upon a time, but I do think that Rita would have got most of the women's respect. And Rita, she is a no-nonsense woman. You cross her and she will punish you. Rita is also one of those people who doesn't need backup in a fight. If it is a fair fight, that is. Rita can literally handle herself. Let's face it, the women didn't have a good top dog, not since Kaz Proctor. Now I know, Ali did do her best, but I really couldn't take her seriously as a top dog. But with Rita now in the the driving seat, it would have made such a difference to the women. Of course, Rita would have come up against a few enemies from time to time, every top dog does, but I honestly think if Wentworth was still around and still going right now, Rita would definitely be top dog looking after the women of Wentworth. And that was my Rita Connors ranking special. Now I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. Let me know in the comments box below if we have any Rita Connors fans watching today, and let me know if you think I got her rankings just right. Okay then, well we have reached the end of today's ranking video. I will be back next week with another character ranking special, so make sure that you have hit that subscribe button. Stay safe out there guys, and I will see you all again very soon.